All right, guys. Hello. Happy Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, right? Today is definitely Wednesday. How are y'all? So I'm a few days late with this, but we're going to review Monday and Tuesday. And I wanted to come and talk to you guys about some stuff that I've been needing to talk to you guys about for the past couple of days, maybe a couple of weeks. Mm. And it is about protection and defense and how it's a great idea to do it on Monday. It's sort of like a staple. This is mainly for you guys that are pagan. Or those of you that are a client that are sort of curious about how I like to do things. So, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are days that I prefer to do love and money workings. Now, that doesn't mean that I only can do things involving love and money. Whatever would be necessary. Here lately, it's been kind of a mess. Okay. It's been a little bit of a mess. One thing about one thing about witches and witchcraft is that we're more so into prevention and maintaining and staying balanced. Here lately, things have been really off balanced. It has. A lot of people have been off balanced. The world is off balance. It's really bad. And, so it's kind of caused things to not be able to be done like within their usual days of the week. It's a good way to keep a schedule. It's a good way of keeping organized. And it's been a lot of unnatural energy going on, like to the point where I have suspected, like I thought to myself, have aliens taken over the earth or something? Or, you guys know I've been saying that for years. Like, what kind of alien connection is this? Because it's just been weird. It's just like, it's just been weird for a lot of different people. And it's been so weird that I have actually have not even been able to come on here and kind of do my daily thing or either every few days because it's just been so weird. It's been weird on YouTube because of all of this celebrity stuff. I like celebrities, I like entertainment, but sometimes you have to pay attention to what is happening, okay? Sometimes you really have to know. I know that I don't keep up with the Kardashians and stuff like that. I have a family, and it just, I'm not a celebrity or anything like that. I'm not in the entertainment industry. I am a authentic shamanic witch. So this channel is not for entertainment purposes only. All of the spiritual stuff that I discuss on this channel, I be dead ass serious about it. So, but yeah, Thursday through Sunday is where I prefer to always work on love work, even if it's a small type of thing that I do. Um, Now I've been working with my spirit dolls. I actually made 13 of them actually, and they have been of a tremendous help. Um, And so it's really been changing the dynamic of the way that I do my work. Okay. It really has, especially since I've started working with Santa Muerta exclusively. Okay. So on Mondays, which Monday was a few days ago, um, on Mondays, it's a good idea to do bindings on people that mean to do you harm, like some kind of binding work. Um, but then also defense on Mondays. Okay. Just maybe a prayer, a candle. I know that for me, and I have not been in the habit of doing this here lately, which I probably should, but it is what it is. Every Monday, I like to do a wolf protection working, and I like to make offerings of milk and moon pies to my wolves. Okay, because wolves for me, as far as with animal symbolism, and just wolves period for me, and as far as like my ancestors, and just the way that they work, wolves are very protective and they protect from a lot. So I'm gonna start getting back into that habit. In fact, just because it's not Monday doesn't mean that I can't do my wolf protection, and I will definitely do that. It's kind of like, usually what I will do is I will have like an image of a wolf, or either I'll just look at the image of the wolf on my phone, and that is suffice. But I used to have like wolf statuettes, and I need to get some more. It's a lot of stuff that I need to get. I haven't had them for like maybe 3 or 4 years. I just used a picture, and I'm too lazy to set up my printer. So. But on Monday, it's usually a good idea to do that. Typically, will only take about 5 or 10 minutes. It's important to do that, especially right now. These routines would be less necessary if people would stop trying to cross over other people's boundaries and barriers. As someone that does work for people, though, it's important for me to do that. Now, like I said, my life has literally changed. I did 11 spirit dolls that I worked on for the past couple of days, and it's been positive. It's been very positive for the past few days. And they're not baneful spirit dolls. They're not baneful at all. Now, I did do a 12th doll that could be considered to be baneful. But that's only to, I guess it would depend. Bane would be what? What would be bane to an adversarial energy? To me, in my opinion, is somebody that feels like they have to have some kind of personal gratification or satisfaction for doing harm to you. So if that means that you're doing bane to them, well, then so be it. If they can't get their sick, dark ecstasy of trying to do harm to you, there's a lot of sick and mentally ill people in this world. Okay. So on Mondays, what I do, and this is going to be really important for the protection group because we need to be doing a lot of protection and defense. It's really weird how I feel like we are looking at in our society, even though it's not being said. We don't have people these days. Um, we don't have people these days hiding being a witch. We've got witches out of the closet because we don't have to worry about being murdered for it. We actually have people though that are pretending to be witches that we have to look out for. So I think that the whole Crusades thing has changed a lot to the point where, there's an inherent betrayal here to where people are kind of saying that they're witches and pagan, but then they're actually not. It's almost like they are, I guess, disguised, right? That it's weird. So I think that this is within itself causing a lot of issues. And so this is the reason why on Mondays I like to do protection and defense. Okay. So I do have my new protection, and every Monday, just it's important for me to, along with because I've got my spirit dolls numbered. The 11 are numbered. For some reason, the numbers ended up corresponding coincidentally, like they were synchronized or something. It's really weird. So that's something that you want to do every Monday. Like I said, it doesn't have to take all day. It doesn't even take a lot of deep meditation. It depends on what's going on. I know that with these dolls, making them, I had to do a lot of deep meditation. And with some of my workings, I do have to do that. But if it is necessary to do any deep meditation, it doesn't have to be for too long. Um, so it's important to do that on Mondays, especially these days. It seems like it's a lot. It seems like it's a lot, which is why people come to me and they pay me to do it for them. But it seems like it's a lot to have to do, but it's necessary. I think that a lot of people, um, especially the past decade, because what ended up happening is that the people and the entities and the establishments that want to keep us in a certain headspace, it's almost like they don't want to let go. But then again, the powers that be, the actual real powers that be, the gods, are saying, no, we're freeing these people. And even though the gods are saying, hey, don't do that. Okay, just leave these people alone. Like, it's time for us to awaken these people. The people are still saying, no, no, no. We need for them to be asleep. We need for them to be ignorant. We need for them to be the way that they are. Okay. Now, coincidentally, Mondays are actually connected to the moon. So when you look at the moon, you're dealing with, um, you can be dealing with any goddess's energy. Okay. But just the moon goddess, period. That could be any female deity archetype, or if you don't work with deities, because, and that'll be me soon, because Santa Muerta is like, you don't need to work with a deity. She's like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know, because I like to feel safe. And she's like, well, you are safe. She's like, you don't need to work with a deity. She said, you don't even really need to work with me. Like, you are good by yourself. Like, go be great. But anyway, But if you're a witch, no matter if you are woman or male, woman or man, you have a connection to the moon. We all do. We all have a connection to the moon. So Mondays are for the moon, and the moon is so mysterious that it's inexplicable, the powers of the moon. So I can't sit here and talk to you guys about that necessarily. Depends on in what context we're going to talk about the moon, because it's so many different variations of the powers of the moon. But what I will tell you guys is that the moon is actually symbolic of the female womb. It's symbolic of that, and it is connected to a lot of our moon cycles, or periods, or monthly cycles. So it's very much like that. And I feel like the moon is doing the same thing, which is where when she's waxing, she's building and building and building her illumination. And then when she comes off, when she starts to shed at the new moon, it is very similar to what is happening in the woman's body when she has a menstrual cycle. So that's the one context, but it's much more complicated. Well, I would say that that's like the main factor of it, but there's a lot of other variations to that. So Mondays are typically a very, very, very powerful day. Mondays can be a day where you can set certain goals for the week. Some people have their little to-do lists and stuff. Monday is phenomenal for any healing work as well, for peace, just a lot of different things. So now, can you do a curse breaker on a Monday? Hell yeah, you can do a curse breaker anytime that you want. By the way, let's get on to Tuesdays, okay? Tuesday is the day of Mars. And Mars is a planet where you're dealing with absolute power when it comes to your intention. And I actually work with the planets, and the gods from the planets. And so Mars will let you know on a Tuesday. It certainly let me know this Tuesday that they were with me, and that they heard me, the Martians, okay, if you want to put it like that. And so basically, Mars is a very good day of breaking curses, breaking cycles, especially depending on the zodiac alignment, depending on the phase of the moon. By the way, a lot of people need to stop more so focusing on reversal, reversal, reversal. It's not just about reversing a curse, it's about breaking curses, which would be about breaking cycles, shaking things up. Okay, this is when you've been put in a cycle that you don't like, or either in a trap. Mars is phenomenal in releasing you from certain traps. So on Tuesdays, what I like to do is prepare for Wednesday, because Wednesday is when the traps are being reinforced. Like right now, when Tuesday is when they are reinforcing the traps spiritually. Okay. So it's almost like breaking free, whether or not it's always going to be mental. It's always going to be a mental trap. But you want to free your mind, body, and spirit from any traps. In shamanism, we don't call it traps in shamanism. We call it just another goddamn reality. Like somebody's pulling you into their reality or their world. And so that's very deep, the way that shamans look at these traps. But yeah, so on Tuesdays is when you're breaking free. Tuesdays is a good day, again, of defense, and if any baneful working is needed, because the one thing that irritates me more than anything is any enemy trying me. I don't like that because I don't like the struggle. I don't like the tug of war. I guess there's some people that do. I don't. Don't try me. That's literally how I feel. Don't try me. You know what I'm saying? So just to let you guys know, I'm a little craggy. I'm a little cranky. I am a Cancer sun zodiac sign. And so a lot of people kind of look at us as a little bitchy. I've got a lot of Venus in my chart, a lot of Mercury. People look at Cancers like we're the goddamn devil. And you know what? Quit trying people. Stay out of our business. Stay in your lane. Straight up and down. We don't like it because here's the whole thing about it. What I can't stand. It's a pet peeve of mine. Okay. You already know that whatever it is that you're doing, I know what you're doing. I know how to do what I got to do about what you're doing. And so, uh, we all know how this is going to end up. We all know that what is to be is still going to be. And we already know that it is what it is. So why are you even trying to play with me? Why are you even trying to play games? I was having this little tug of war with a spirit for a client. And the spirit just kept saying, no, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And I said, well, you already know that you're not going to be able to do that. So why would you even waste my fucking time? Why are we sitting here arguing about it? You already know what it is. You already know that I'm getting ready to lay down the law on your ass. So why are you sitting up here trying to tell me what you're going to do to my client? Seriously. And what ended up happening is that Santa Muerta just went ahead and said, just trap the motherfucker. That's why I love working with Santa Muerta. She don't want to, like, okay, Hecate will trap a spirit. Lilith likes to torture people. Lilith is like, let's torture that spirit or you know what I'm saying? But Santa Muerta is just like, get over here, get in the trap, shut the fuck up. That's how she is. So any spirits that are coming at the situation, I have several spirit traps that I have done with Santa Muerta. She just literally does that. I got to drag it out of one of my bags because you guys know that right now we're traveling back home, and that's been kind of a struggle because of things that I'm not going to discuss because they're not relevant right now during this discussion. um I did some curse breaking with Santa Muerta on Tuesday, and I just absolutely love doing curse breakers with her. She is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, so Tuesdays is when you do your curse breakers. A lot of you guys forget, like when we do these reversal candles, I don't necessarily use those 7-day candles. Honestly, I like 7-day candles, but only for only for decoration. It's not necessary to it doesn't necessarily take several days or even 3 days. Typically uh once a candle has been going for about an hour or two, pretty much has done its job. Okay, it just depends on what you're doing and how you're looking at it. So, like for me, what's been working phenomenally for me has been the chime candles, the little tiny 4-inch ones. Sometimes I use the 6-inch, sometimes I use the 8 or 12-inch or 10-inch. But for me, I'm really into the tapers, and then even the what are those big fat candles Y'all know what I'm talking about. They're not votives. There's tapers, and I don't know why I can't think of that type of candle. That's so weird. Um, so Tuesday would be good for that. And then also Tuesday would be a good day to reclaim your power and your life force. Tuesday should be about that, especially if you have dealt with energy vamps. Um, Tuesdays are also really good for doing reality swaps, not reality swaps, destiny swap backs. You know, when somebody's trying to steal your whole destiny, which means that they're trying to make you them and them you. So Tuesdays would be one of the most powerful days for that, would be on a Tuesday. Okay. And coincidentally, that's when you're going to see the most results, would be on a Tuesday from reclaiming your power, which a lot of you guys should be feeling very energized spiritually, mentally. You should be feeling very energized. If you're feeling sluggish mentally, physically, it's a problem. It's an obvious problem. Okay. And then Tuesdays can be used for doing money work too, and setting goals and certain goals that you may have. Okay. Now let's get to Wednesday, which is today, right? Yep, today is Wednesday, March the 19th of 2025. And that number 9 is going to spell trouble. So it's important to watch out. Wednesdays is when they are solidifying their traps, trying to secure their victims. Wednesday is a day of darkness. Wednesday is connected to the god Hermes and the planet Mercury. Working with the planet Mercury, even if you don't believe in the god Hermes, is really important on a Wednesday because Mercury is like the light in the dark. I feel like on Wednesdays, for some reason, just based upon the cycles of the earth, I believe that probably for millions of years on a Wednesday, this is probably when portals start to open to the void. Okay. And these portals, you can see them and maybe even shut them down using some kind of source of light, whether or not it's a candle, whether or not it's a flameless candle. It can be a flameless candle. I'm going to make a huge suggestion to people to secure their mirrors, lock your mirrors, do your smudging or saging to banish away any bad spirits out of your home, even the rear view mirrors of your car. Lock your mirrors today because mirrors are like a direct pathway to different realms. And I feel that for some reason the void opens up on Wednesdays. And it's also connected to those shadow planets Rahu and Ketu. Um And so it's just important to, make sure that the mirrors are locked. You don't have to cover them, but just lock them. Okay. Just make sure that they're locked. I personally use keys to lock all mirrors wherever I go. I've learned that, like, wherever I am staying, wherever I am at, all the mirrors need to be locked unless I unlock them for my purpose. Your mirrors should not just be left wide open like that. Okay. So make sure that you lock your mirrors. Okay. And for me, when I set an intention to do something, I can do it without doing anything special. I can just think about what I want to do, and then it happens. So right now, as I was speaking about locking the mirrors are locked. So can't nothing get in to those mirrors, because things will travel through the mirrors, even if you have the best protection, even if you've got the best ancestors. For some reason, when stuff starts to come through, they just come through. So just make sure that the mirrors are locked. Okay. On Wednesdays is when a lot of possession happens. Coincidentally, because of the mirrors, spirits and things and unwanted entities can come in through the mirrors. Spirits that are sent, monitoring spirits, spirits that are meant to steal. Um, Whatever it is they're trying to steal, are coming in through the mirrors. If it's a broken mirror, throw it out. If it's a crack in the mirror, throw it out. Do not ever keep broken mirrors. Okay? Do not ever keep those, because if it's like a crack in the mirror, it's very important for you to um, replace it, fix it. Um, I've seen people with broken rear view mirrors, put some tape over it or something. I would not just leave it like that, or either take it and go get it fixed. Okay. Seriously. Because mirrors are huge as far as with spirit travel and spirit activity, which is why there's a lot of people that keep their mirrors covered. I don't think that it's necessary to cover the mirror, more so lock it. And then if you wipe a mirror down, you can consecrate, some kind of cleaning solution, or either some kind of solution with like an oil, maybe some cedar wood, maybe some what's that other oil that I keep? Cedar wood. Hold on, guys. Cypress would be good to cleanse, the mirrors. Just put a drop of it, maybe with some put a drop of it with some ammonia, maybe. Wipe the mirrors down. Just do something to lock the mirrors is all I know. And I want my clients to start doing that as well. That's a part of the instructions that you're given at your home. I don't do house calls. I can't do house calls, but that's one of the things that would cut out a lot of crud. It would cut out a lot of recastings and things of that nature if you guys were to do that and to go ahead and follow the instructions. I don't think it's something that you necessarily have to do every week. It just depends on what your intuition is telling you, but if you have never done that, you need to do that. um Today is typically the day, though, on a Wednesday, when a lot of cord attachments start happening. This is when the adversarial energy is latching on to you to feed off of you, to take from you, to watch you. They want to know where you're going. If you're somebody that does any kind of astral travel, if you're doing any kind of work to um, manifest anything today, it's very important for you to be consciously aware and for you to be very, very aware of the people that are watching you. And I can always tell because it'll just be kind of this eerie feeling. And saging, locking the mirrors, maybe even putting some salt in the doorway, they can't get in. Okay. Makes everything run so much smoother. Um, and that's granted that you've gotten a lot of the stuff out of yourself. Like, if you've had things wide open for so long, more than likely you yourself are possessed. Like, you've got certain things put on you that they can communicate with, and it's a disaster. So just make sure that you guys are I know that the past couple of months there's been a lot of distractions. We have Make sure that you guys get at me about the curse reversals and breakers and cleanses. Okay, so get with me about that. I know I've been talking about the protection a lot. I'm kind of restructuring the way that I do things. So, I am encouraging people to do the protection, but please also be mindful that you do need to have those curse breakers. Okay. And so, so just contact me if you guys have not done that, because I have not been doing any, you know, talks about breaking curses. I haven't for the past couple of months. This is like the first time that we've talked about this. And you guys really, really need to do that. Okay, you guys really need to get with me about that because it's definitely time. I think that a couple of planets have went into retrograde, and I'm gonna go and check that out and maybe put up a video so I can just candidly talk about the retrograded planets and what I'm getting just intuitively from just reading the information about the planets that are in retrograde. And I'll probably throw some cards with it too. Um, so today is hump day, and a lot of people that have different beliefs than what we have. If you're watching this, then you understand what I'm talking about. But a lot of people that have different beliefs than what we have are possibly, not even paying attention to that, to what I'm talking about. Okay. But basically, today is the day where all of the little weird chords are being casted, like a lot of them. Okay. A lot of chords are being casted to people, and cord it's today would be a good day for a cord cutting. If it's somebody that you need to cord cut from, then today would be a good day to do that, as well as to protect your energy, because what ends up happening is like a countdown. They start setting things up, things get put into place. Tuesday, they've set up the trap. Wednesday, they are doing their chords to you. And then on Thursday, for some reason, this is when they feed, going into the witching hour. Now, a lot of them are claiming to be witches. No, they are not. That is a parasite. Witches are not parasites. The work that we do for you, that you pay us for, we're not parasiting off of you. Okay. You're getting something in return, especially when you're dealing with me, because I'm very honest and I'm very, very, very trustworthy when it comes to my clients. I don't take advantage of people. Okay. And I don't like, they've tried to compare it and it doesn't compare. When us witches are helping you with something, healing you from something, it's actual, usually genuine help, unless it's somebody that you can't damn trust. Okay, if this is what we do for a living, this is what we do for a living, and we get paid for it. There is no parasiting. There's no connection with the two. Now, somebody that is scamming, which is what I call the scammers, the feeders, they are feeding off of you. But if you come to somebody authentic like me, we are not. Okay, so that's where, when it comes to the witches that are very ethical, when it comes to their practice, this is the reason why I call myself a trailblazer, because I'm making it very, very clear that while there is this so-called vampire magic, quote unquote vampire magic, it's not witchcraft necessarily. Okay. Now, there are areas of witchcraft to where I feel like witches, the only time we do vampirism or practice within that realm is when we are reclaiming our power. It's the same thing, but it's not for the same reason. Okay. So a person like you ever have somebody's like, oh, well, that's my energy and power that you've been born with, and people will try to claim your energy. It's very weird, but you know what it is. It's like, no, people will even try to bind themselves to your energy, to your power, to your personal power. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. It's totally freaking ridiculous. It really is. But there's a lot of different reasons. And then also on a Wednesday, you're going to be dealing with um what I call medical witchcraft, and I'm not going to speak any further on that. That's something that I talk to you guys about behind the scenes. Okay. But basically, what it is to make you feel a certain type of way, malaise, uh, so that you'll have to lay down, so that you possibly can't eat, because not eating helps them feed off of you. If you have food, for some reason, if you have food in your stomach, it hinders their feeding process. That's why they want you to not be able to eat. Okay. So any kind of loss of appetite can be a sign of being energy harvested off of and then cursed. If you don't have an appetite to eat, that is a problem. That's one of the signs of people that are about to die. Not saying that you're about to die, because there's a lot of people that they go through these phases in life where they can't eat, but that's actually not a good thing, because when you're not eating, like, that's actually, if you talk to any hospice nurse, that's one of the signs of death being imminent, is the person not eating. So if you're going days and days and days and you're just eating a bite here and a bite there, and you're stressed out and you're going through that, you need to seek help for that, because you need to eat something. Okay? It is not good going without eating. Okay? So today being Wednesday, I'm going to cut it off here. And then I'll come back tomorrow and talk to you guys about Thursday. It'll probably be at the witching hour when I do my live about Thursdays. Y'all need to prepare yourselves, especially being that today is Wednesday and it's the 19th. With the energy thieving and everything, and people trying to steal from people, of course they're going to say, oh, that belongs to me. And it's like, what? Like, what? No, but yeah, that it's like, who are you? What do you, what the fuck is this weirdness? And of course, they've convinced themselves that what you have, whatever it is, your talent, your energy, your power, of course, they've convinced themselves that what you have belongs to them. And, they'll be very matter of factly about it, and they'll feel passionate about trying to own your energy. So, today is going to be heavily with that. And if you guys want to get in the protection group that I have that protects you from that, you guys can contact me. If you guys want more focused work, you guys can contact me for a consultation. Okay. Um, there's been a lot that has been done to make it difficult for some of y'all to afford work getting done for you, to afford the help. So just contact me about that. And, I'm constantly negotiating things with people. Okay. But I say that a lot of you guys that can afford the protection need to get it, because, it's unfortunately, it's a lot of people out there, not just the everyday Joe. Why'd I say that? But there's a lot of things that are happening that many, many people don't see. Just put it like that. Okay. I think I'm gonna do I'm gonna look at the retrograded planets, and I'm gonna upload a video with a reading with it too. If I see that damn tower card in the reverse position, I'm gonna be irritated as the fuck. I am, because this is ridiculous. I am, y'all. Excuse my language, but it's very, very irritating. Yeah, can you give me some more of that? Okay. So if you guys need to contact me, 770-686-7461. Let me put this in the chat for y'all. And I will be here for you guys. Thank you, sweetie. And my track record is pretty impeccable when it comes to working with clients and when it comes to helping them. Okay. All right, guys. Hugs to y'all. It's gonna be okay. All right. Blessings to y'all. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up and y'all share this as well. Okay. And make sure that if you're new to the channel that you subscribe, and that you also follow me on TikTok. Okay. And Instagram too, because I am on Instagram as well. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later. Blessings. Bye.